From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. How you doing, Oliver?
I feel like I'm in fucking Groundhog Day right now.
Why? Because I nailed that exactly the same.
You, yeah. I'm not even gonna go into the pre-com thing. You know, it feels like that joke is good. I mean, For anybody who does, well, you won't know this. We've already been here. We've already started this show, but something went fucking horribly wrong with the audio, and we had a banger of a start. We even mentioned the fact that, you know, Prince got a rib removed so he could suck himself off.
We did. It was one of the things we talked about. But I mean, I feel we've moved on. I think like we've evolved as a show. We've grown. Things have changed.
Just to clarify, he definitely didn't get a rib removed.
He didn't get a rib removed, but
Okay.
like I think we can like close the book on starting shows talking about like bumming each other and stuff.
Why?
I just think we can. I'm just saying. No huge reason for it, but. I
haven't asked to bum you in such a long time.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. I like it. I like the lack of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No flirting at the beginning of the show. Then. Right, I got you.
See, this is the thing. As the show grows, we've got to keep it like strictly business.
Why spoil my fun? I just don't get it. It's fucking foreplay, Lee. Come on.
Are we all good though? We've been good in the 24 hours.
We're good. As volumes are looking beautiful, you know.
Oh, fucking nightmare, isn't it? Like
my sprogs have finally decided to shut the fuck up.
It's like you wouldn't believe. I know, like I know sometimes. I genuinely like. Don't take this the wrong way, people. I like it when people tell us like this. You know, if it's like a little friendly nod, going, by the way, podcast volume's a bit off. You go, oh shit. So if it's like take today for instance, I got it to a shape that was listenable, and it was just at that time where it was getting towards the witching hour, and I had to get out the door, Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of where I was at this morning. So then because someone turned around and said, yeah, like. It's kind of an Ollie versus Lee, with Lee being barely audible and Ollie being like all the way up in the sky. And I was like, right, I can do something about that. So lunchtime, I went back in. I re-edited the podcast and I pushed it back out like thing. So that's fine. But like, I fucking swear, unless you do any sort of audio work, it's just not a case of setting levels and going, everything's done. We never need to touch this again. No. It's like it's an everyday thing. It's a fucking everyday issue.
See, I was a YouTuber before, and I never realised. I think I take YouTube editing and all that video stuff over audio any day of the week. Audio is such a fucking tricky thing.
Well, you live stream. That's the difference when we were doing YouTube with Alien Addict. And I think there's a lot of don't get me wrong. There's some live streams out there with some fucking beautiful audio, but
they've paid a lot of money for it, and they've probably got sound checkers all the way through that live stream.
It's not just that; it's the room. The room's the big thing. Like, never if people are out there trying to work out if you're there doing a podcast and like your audio sounds awful and you go, I don't know what to do, I can't do it. Treat your room a little bit. I mean, this room is pretty untreated, but like sort some stuff out, put some big curtains around, get some foam, stick some foam on the walls.
I love a bit of foam.
Yeah, it all helps. But yeah, anyway, that's inside baseball on fucking podcasts. However, Ollie, we might not have to worry about this for very much longer.
We probably won't. Yeah, we're fucked.
Because the net is tightening on just the internet and communication as it is is very much under threat. And also like it's getting pushed a lot like towards the UK, which is definitely an issue. But this is going on like Australia, Europe. The US also has its own version of these online safety laws, and they are all pushing it in a similar way, which is like a won't somebody think of the children type of way. And whenever it's one of those
before
things
that
like,
it was what you think of can't you think of your grandma and granddad?
What with the Roans?
With the Roans, yeah.
Yeah, but I always find it really disingenuous when people give it the whole won't somebody think of the children. Like it's when there's no
be a good parent, you know.
Yeah. I think that's it. Like don't fucking send your kid into a room on their own with an iPad and go about your day. You know, like that. There's a really good way. That's a really good way of like online safety. Same goes for video games and stuff like that.
I get it to a certain extent because you got to give, especially when they're teenagers, you got to give them privacy.
Yeah, I don't think we're not looking at them as children, though, are we? They're not children. A teenager isn't a child.
I mean, it depends which way you look at it. I would hope. Saying that, the fucking shit that I looked at as a teenager, I'm fine.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with me.
Well, I mean, we talk about this. We're going to play a video from the quartering in a minute, which is going to explain.
Fucking love the quartering.
I like the quartering as well, but we'll listen to we'll listen to his whole video probably because it's pretty good. But like it's so easy, especially now, because everything's got so tribal and everything's got so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be like super fucking. Well, again, the woke right. Like there was. I don't care what people say. When Konstantin saying like labeled this like offshoot of the woke right, it's true. Like definitely, if I was like 10 again. And
you mean to rhyme there?
But would be pushed right? What
did you mean to rhyme then?
If I was 10 again,
10 again. 10.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well done.
I mean,
just wanted to point that out. Sorry, carry on. I fucked you, Anna.
It's just not even a good rhyme though, is it?
I thought it was excellent.
Oh, if I was 12 again, and you fast forwarded everything like into the future, and I was sat there watching Top of the Pops, watching fucking Placebo and Nine Inch Nails. It'd be like, what the fuck are you watching? Like, those freaks for? If you watch Trent Reznor in a dress, you might grow up to be a tranny. And it's like, it's fucking obviously couldn't be further from the truth which happened. You know, like I think there's so much.
I can remember my dad coming, what the bloody hell are you watching?
Yeah, but you were watching gay porn, Ollie.
He didn't know that.
I mean, I'm going to guess that he worked it out.
No, it hadn't started. It was just like the whole restaurant scene and, you know, they were going up in the lift. I had a picture of Pamela Anderson on the wall as my...
as your shield.
It's my shield, look. Yeah. Look, Dad, I'm not gay.
Secretly, when your dad would leave the room, you gaze at the picture of Pamela Anderson and go, oh my God, I wish we could be friends. We could go shopping. It'd be wonderful.
Oh, by the way, for all my female fans, I'm not gay. And for all my male fans, I could be.
It's from my male fans. Try your luck.
Why you pay me?
Fuck it, yeah, I'm lost. Yeah, but I think about the amount of things that I watched and saw when I was a kid, and I think, right, well, it depends which way you look at it. Has it made me weird? Well, I do a conspiracy theory podcast 5 days a week, so you know, like I haven't turned out the picture of normal, but you know, I also didn't go through that awkward teenage phase of thinking I was a girl, but
mate, I can remember seeing RoboCop getting his hand blown off by Clarence Boddicker. Can you fly, Bobby? And it like literally haunted me. Like as a kid for a little bit, but then I'm like, I'm going to watch that motherfucker again. That was brilliant.
Right,
showing my mates.
The first film, let me just check something here. Like,
it was Child's Play, yours, wasn't it?
It was. So, the film Child's Play came out in 1988, Ollie. I was born in 1982.
So I would have been 8 in 1988.
Yeah, so I was 7 when I watched Child's Play.
You fucking rebel.
How old are you? Sorry?
I'm 44.
Oh no, I'd have been 6. I'd have been younger than my son now.
Yeah, I wouldn't show my son Chucky. Fuck that.
No, I'm dying to watch Alien with him. He's not ready for Alien yet.
Yeah, neither am mine. Little pussy's out. Like the youngest had tried to show him Jurassic Park. Anybody would have thought that I'd shown him fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a velociraptor, mate. Come on, they're cool.
Yeah, stroke it. But yeah, so I do try. Like I'm trying to come around because like, I've been quite extremist and quite fear-mongered about quite a lot of stuff. I'm coming to the idea of like most of the stuff we're being like forced to fucking argue about with each other.
It's all planned.
It's and not only that, it's just not as prevalent as it's being made out to be. You know, like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, don't get me wrong. Like the more if you look at the transgender stuff and you look at the people like pushing it on kids and things, I don't think that was very prevalent at all. I still think it's probably not that prevalent as far, and by that I don't mean what's on the TV, because I think the TV does push that type of thing, but I mean like people out there in the fucking
real world.
In the
I
field.
Never saw it once because I used to say to my wife, I used to say, listen, if I see any of that shit, I'm pulling them right out of that school.
I agree.
If I see any of the friends, mums and dads talking about shit like that, you know, they're not hanging about with them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But everybody seems pretty fucking normal.
Yeah. But
I mean, do think nobody likes it. Nobody wants it pushing in your face. Do you still see? Do you see the flags? Yeah. I mean, I never even had a problem with the fucking flag until now, you know, because they put that on the flag. I didn't have it, you know, I had a fucking, you know, gone down Canal Street waving my pride flag back in the day, probably, you know, with, you know, dancing and trying to get a free drink off a man.
Yeah, I bet you would.
But you know what I mean? They've spoiled it for the gays. They spoiled it.
Well, I think I don't want to. I wouldn't speak for the gays, Ollie, but
the gays love me. The gays, I am friendly with the gays. The gays,
I'm sure you are.
You know, the people I know are gay. You know, most of the people that I know are gay.
Why did you seem so gay when you said that?
Because I felt like I needed to. You know,
to sell it more. The people I know that are gay. What, Ollie? Like the Mirror?
Why am I speaking with my hands? What's going on with me?
I don't know. It's all looking a bit fucking homo-y.
But in all seriousness, they're like, we've come such a fucking long way for it all to get spoiled by some fucking crazy dickheads. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, but that's what I mean as far as like the promotion of it. Media promotion of it, I think it does become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Where there's definitely a case of monkey see, monkey do, and if you give this perceived, and I believe it's a perceived advantage in society right now. I don't like there is a lot of talk of like demonization. I don't believe that's a thing. I think I worry for people actually that there'll be. That at some point there will be demonization. There will be like a real pushback, and I've said this for years. Like we're
going backwardsly.
The rise of the woke left will fuel a readjustment from the right, which would be fucking terrifying. I think we're just like at the tip of the spear of that. I feel like, the beginning maybe. But anyway, we've
Bring
kind
that sexy bastard on. Bring him on.
Yeah, let's hit with this online safety stuff. Good call, Oliver. I should probably bring it up first before I hit play, though. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Silence is golden.
Not on a show.
I feel like I could do a little gay dance.
Yeah, well, wouldn't that just be a dance for you? He's Jeremy from the Quartering.
Seriously, I know why they're doing this now. It's the summer. It's the end of July. If you're in America, it's like peak vacation season. People aren't paying attention. But I'm asking you, if you don't watch any of my other videos today, I guess I wouldn't know if you didn't watch this one. But this one needs your interaction, needs you to leave a like on it, needs you to share it on your social media. This is important. YouTube has now been thrown into, and I assume every other video platform, has been now thrown into the list of applications that will be banned for anyone under the age of 16. Now, you might think, well, who cares? You know, I think social media is bad for young people, and I agree with you. I think, however, this needs to be mitigated, litigated, enacted in the household by the parents, not the government. And what's happening is in 3 different nations right now, Australia, kind of the tip of the spear. What's happening in Australia right now, you can expect to be in Europe in a month or 2, and then in the United States in 6 months. There are varying forms of each bill in each nation that I need to go through because this is how the government is going to enact.
If you haven't exercised in years, you have to start small with my beginner-friendly Tai Chi class.
Digital ID and...
Do you know my favorite part?
Good advice.
If anybody's watched any of those like any YouTube and that adverts popped up, it's the one where he's saying, "I'm 67 and I do Tai Chi, and now doctors ask me for advice." What I want to know what they want advice on. It could be anything.
It could, yeah, absolutely. Do me a favor, make Jeremy big anyway.
Right, that's what I was trying to do. Right.
Ultimately, social credit score. If you don't think that's how it is, please give me 12 minutes of your time to explain. First, YouTube has now been included in Australia's teen social media ban. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't live in Australia. Why do I care? Well, because it's the exact same legislation that's going on in the UK and Europe with the Online Safety Act, and in the United States with the Kids Online Safety Act, known as COSA. All of this stuff is going on at the same time right now, globally. And when you start enacting, you're having big tech, have people's identifications to prove your ID, prove your age. We just saw that one app that got exposed with, 70,000 driver's license or whatever like that getting put out there. This is huge. Remember, COSA's right here in America. Same thing. Reject online censorship. Tell lawmakers to oppose COSA. COSA won't make the kids safe. Instead, it puts youth in danger by preventing them from accessing resources they need. Concern about young people's harm from big tech are valid and real, but enabling censorship that harms the most marginalized kids. Again, the left and right are working together on this, but the issue is the same. The COSA bill in the United States will allow the government to pressure social media platforms to erase content that could be deemed inappropriate for people under the age of 18. The problem is there's absolutely no consensus on what exactly is inappropriate for them. All across the country, we're seeing how lawmakers are going after young people's access to gender-affirming healthcare. No, I don't support any of that. Kids should not be going for that. But again, this is the left saying, but this is for LGBT. But on the right, you have to understand COSA as well. Look at Spotify right now. We need to check your age. To access certain contents on Spotify, we need to make sure you're 18 or older. One of the best accounts to follow is Reclaim the Net, because they're always on the first and foremost on that. 1 hour ago, France is criminally investigating X. Prosecutors want access to the platform's algorithm and real-time data, citing complaints about Musk's ownership and alleged bias for content mediation. Just yesterday, I talked about Jim Jordan, U.S. politician, talking about how the UK was trying to intimidate Rumble and say that they'll be watching them, that they want them to to comply with the Online Safety Act. This is bonkers. New internal emails reveal that Ofcom, Britain's media regulator, has been quietly pressuring US-based firms like Rumble and Reddit to obey the UK censorship law. I did a video on this yesterday. Nobody watched it. It bombed. It got like 30,000 views. No one cares. I'm imploring people to start caring. Here's what's going on in Australia. YouTube ban looms as Australia's woke chief censor gets her way. YouTube faces strict new age restrictions after being swept into Australia's looming social media crackdown by the e-Safety Commissioner. What does this mean? Well, now it means that the government will be working hand in hand with social media, not just YouTube, but X and Rumble and everything else, to tell people what they're allowed to see. Now, on top of that, how will they actually enforce this? Well, if you want to have access to the internet, you're going to have to give them your ID, your personal information. Now, big tech will be the gatekeeper of everything online, and we know just how honest and trustworthy big tech is. A dramatic policy reversal will now see YouTube included in Australia's upcoming ban on under 16s holding social media accounts, setting the stage for a potential high court showdown with the Google-owned platform. Again, you hear Australia, you think, who cares? Haha, kangaroos and drop bears. But the reality is, this is the legislation that's setting the rules for what's happening right now in the UK and the United States. Communications Minister loser Anika Wells will officially unveil the decision today after receiving advice last month from the e-Safety Commissioner, shouldn't even be a role, recommending that YouTube be subject to the same restrictions as platforms like TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. Under the new rules, which come into effect this December, YouTube and other major platforms will be legally required to take reasonable steps to prevent persons under 16 from creating or holding an account. Logged out viewing will still be allowed, but users under 16 will be barred from uploading videos, posting comments, or receiving personalized content. Wells claims that the decision would help reduce the persuasive and pervasive influence that social media has over kids, and provide peace of mind to parents. No, 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 no. What this is the government wants to raise your kids. It's bad enough when you have leftoids trying to trans your kids, but this is the government wants to raise your kids.
The Albanese government has announced it will include YouTube in its social media ban for under-16s. While the decision will be welcomed by many, it's a move that won't sit well with Google, which threatened to sue the government if its popular video platform was included in the ban. Despite a last-ditch attempt by Google to avoid it, the Prime Minister has confirmed YouTube will be subject to Australia's world-first under-16s social media ban.
Do you think, leave a like on the video right now, please, if you haven't yet, and please put this video on your Facebook, on your X account, share it. People need to wake up. They're doing this in the dead of summer while nobody's paying attention. I don't know what else I can do.
Sorry, what was that, Ali?
I'm just saying we are sharing it. We're doing the Lord's work.
Literally going to do paid advertising of this video. People need to understand what's happening. They're going to not only ban these things because the government wants to raise your kids, but the only way they're going to know if you're old enough is if you give them your ID, right? So now everybody's IDs can be stored in a central location. How convenient for the government. You might be saying, hey, I don't want to use the internet. Well, I guess you're probably not watching this video then. The government will store everybody's ID because they're going to need a central database, right? Then what happens? Well, that's the first step to digital ID. And you may not be a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist like me, but if you look at nations like China, where they have a literal social credit score, what's that tied to? Your digital ID. Like places like China literally limit the hours you can play video games. They limit, if you've said something bad about the government, they'll limit your travel, right? Does that sound like the world you want to live in America or the UK or in Australia? This is the first step to that.
Platform joins the likes of Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok and X, which will be required to take responsible steps to prevent underage account holders onto their services. Failure to do so could result in fines of up to $49.5 million from December 10, which is when the social media minimum age law comes into effect. The decision to include YouTube has been
Also understand this. This affects people who want to browse anonymously, right? So now if you don't want the government to have your contact, you don't want to have, you don't want to give them your information, you have to access content on YouTube. They haven't mentioned Rumble yet, but let's assume Rumble's going to be a part of this. If you're going to host video online, you're going to have to give your ID to watch it, and nobody's paying attention while they're doing this.
So 100% Rumble's going to be a part of this. 100%.
Yeah, of course it will, because it'll have to comply with the guidelines and stuff like that. But
just quickly, there, everybody go subscribe to the Quartering. Jeremy, he's awesome.
Yeah, he is. He's really cool.
He's Jeremy, isn't it? Jeremy.
Yeah,
First
Jeremy.
name, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
So, right, I am. How to put this? I'm really conflicted by a lot of this stuff, and I think
because
the
you're
reason,
a father.
Well, but I'm also conflicted by it because I think part of it might be. I don't think we fully get, and look. I think it's a plan. I'm going to straight out say I think it's a plan.
All roads lead to digital ID. It's that simple.
Yes. However, like we had the podcast the other day where I said, look, we've already kind of got digital IDs. Regardless, it's just the idea that we wouldn't have some sort of online identification, like we have a driver's license or a passport and stuff like that. It's just doesn't make sense to me anyway. I think the banning of YouTube for under 16s is a pretty good idea. There's a reason there's a YouTube Kids app. Do you know what I mean? I think there is a. there's a really I don't think I think social media. If it was me, I'd ban some of this stuff till you were 18. I don't think people should be able to go on social media.
See, there's that bit of me, and I've seen it in society where I've seen people's kids on. I've seen somebody's kid as young as. So my youngest, one of his mates came round. This was a few years ago as well. So now he's 6.
Yeah.
So he must have been fucking 4 or something then. His mate were about a year older than him. So he must have been about 5 years old. He had a fucking mobile phone. And he had a TikTok on his mobile phone.
Yes, wild.
And I just like that.
What
to
are
me,
you doing?
That should be on the parent. That should be on the parent to control shit like that. Because if you're giving your kid access to things like if it's not YouTube, because if it's normal YouTube and not YouTube Kids, they can see everything. They can see fucking everything. They can see the news. They can see what's going on in the world. They don't need to know about that shit when they're a kid. When they're a kid, concentrate on being a kid. Climb a fucking tree. Get on a bike. Play Super Mario. Whatever. Be a kid. I get that. But at the same time, I see where this is going. And they are selling this to these parents that are going, I don't know what to do. I don't know how do I stop this now? But all their mates are doing it, so I'm going to be the bad parent. Well, the government's come to your fucking rescue, people, and they're going to give you this present that they're going to fucking deliver, and they're going to save your children. And lo and behold, give it 30 years' time, we're fucking living in Demolition Man times.
You see, yeah, you're right. But the thing that really gets me about this is this stuff was like fully predicted in the mid early to mid 2000s. I remember when before my son was born, I read 3 books back to back. Which was and it was kind of like a shock thing. Like I say, I've said on the podcast before that when I knew I was going to be a father, it really hammered at home just how ignorant I was to how I don't want to say like how the world works because it sounds like a fucking frightful cliche, but it's kind of the way I felt. And I read 3 books back to back, which was the Madness of Crowds by Douglas Murray, The Coddling of the American Mind by Greg Lukianoff and Jonathan Holdit, I think it was, and The Boy Crisis by John Gray and I always want to say Will Ferrell, but it's Warren Farrell. And the impact of social media on kids and how Facebook and Twitter particularly impacted like a generation. Like I don't know the statistics off the top of my head, but it was child, not 12, 13. I mean little children. The child suicide rate was like almost zero, like in the United States, like almost nothing, until widespread use of Facebook and Twitter.
We're not designed for it, mate.
And these numbers went from like 4, 5 a year. Something like that. Still tragic. The idea that a child that young gets so fucking sad that they can do something like that to themselves is just it just doesn't bear thinking about. But it jumps from like 5 to like 144. It goes from single digits to triple digits, blows through double digits.
Yeah, I don't think you should be allowed a fucking Facebook account as a kid. I'll be honest with you. That bit I fucking totally agree with.
Yeah.
Just they're not allowed to have a Facebook account. I also think at the same time, and I know some schools are pretty lenient with it, but I don't think for mobile phones, I don't think they should be in schools. I think
No, I don't think so.
Even when it's playground time, I think they shouldn't have the phones at playground time either. They should be in a locker at the end of the day for the parents to pick them up from school or whatever. Or if a child has a health issue, that like diabetes or whatever, then I understand if they've got a mobile phone on them, because that's how the way some of their parents monitor them, because there is a child that I know that has that. But at the same time,
yeah, but what happened before that?
Yeah, no, but technology sometimes is a fucking lifesaver, mate. But I get what you're saying. How did we survive?
But sometimes it's a life ender.
But this is what I'm saying. I think kids in schools should be kids in schools, going out in the playground, playing football, swapping cards or whatever they do, and they should learn to interact with other children other than interacting with another kid over an app. That is not society.
No.
And I think, see, this is why they're selling it this is how they're going to sell this to the parents. It's going to fucking work, this, Lee. And I don't agree with it. So this is not me saying I agree with this fucking, what the government's proposing to do. I am 100% off on this, because this is just going to lead to their plan. That's what parents should be responsible for their own children.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the parents' job, But the good thing is, like, when people go to school, they bring their parents eventually into school, and they have a parents' meeting. I'm a little bit concerned. Your child seems to, at every given opportunity, want to get his mobile phone out. That should be addressed there with the parents. But I mean, it's hard. We've got an iPad in the house, and I have to go. Get yourself outside and go kick a ball. It's there. But I say get out. Go fucking climb a tree or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We do live in a in a day and age that is very, technology's there.
It is. I would, apart from the communication aspect, though, I'm not sure it's any more there. Because from when I was really small, I remember. I'll get to what I believe is the root of the problem here, and I don't actually think policy is the root of the problem. So from when I was small, I remember the Christmas so well. I'd seen one in the in a shop over here. It was like, and to our American listeners, you guys were like all in with the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. The NES didn't take quite as well in the UK.
Well, Sega was the big one, wasn't it?
Sega Master System was the 8-bit one, which really got some traction, and then obviously before the 16-bit generation. I remember getting a Sega Master System. I fucking loved it. So the thing. I mean, obviously you can't take that out with you, but I mean, we're just talking about iPads being in the house. Mm-hmm. But like, I could play fucking Wonder Boy for fucking hours. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like the So I don't necessarily think like it's. I don't think what I'm trying to say is, we think because technology does so much now, we think it's more distracting. And I suppose in a way it could be more distracting. The difference is, though, it's relative to the time you're in. So we look at like an iPad and go, like, that's fucking ridiculous what that piece of glass can do. Like, of course, that's 100 times worse than what we had. But when you go back like 35 years into the past, at the very same time, our parents we're looking at a Sega Master System going,
mate,
that's ridiculous. Like,
Sinclair Spectrum, and I
Yeah.
stared at it fucking loading for half an hour, waiting, drooling with anticipation.
So,
you know,
but that's I'm just trying to say that I don't necessarily think the amount of technology is the issue. I think the instant communication is the worry for me. That's what I don't I don't think anyone, I don't even think grown-ups are really made for that. I mean, even what we're doing here, this is fucking ridiculous. The idea that you've got the two of us, which fair enough, like we've worked on a couple of different things, and like the Daily Conspiracy Podcast kind of being the culmination of everything like the two of us have done over the either independently or together over the past like 15 years or something like that is culminated into what this has turned into. It's wild to think though that we speak to so many people and so many people listen to us. It's not a natural way to live. So yeah, and like we're only on, we're not even at the like the top half of the ladder. We're like halfway up the bottom half.
Yeah.
But it's still fucking mental. But the problem here isn't what people are proposing. It comes down again to the same conversation we have about vaccines, the same conversation we have about education. It's a complete breakdown in the trust of our institutions and authorities. Because when it should be an easy sell, right? This should be an easy sell for people if we trusted the people that were enacted it.
Yes, that's you've nailed that.
Yeah, and I'll go with you here, Ollie, because I want this act repealed, but not because I think the measures that are on it are like draconian or anything like that. Kids don't go on social media until they're over 16. Good idea. Maybe people that see that maybe when people are going on to watch like pornography, maybe there should be some sort of age verification to make sure that happens. I can get that. Like when I go and buy alcohol from the shop, sometimes, it hasn't happened for a long time, but sometimes you have to give identification. I don't think it'll actually ever happen to me ever again for the rest of my life, but I have been known to be asked for identification when buying alcohol. Yeah.
I think into my late 30s.
So, it's fucking... It's something we've always done. Like we've always, age has been a really good benchmark for when you can do shit. It's it's like can you ride this roller coaster not till you're 12 or till you're so high.
Because we should keep the kids for longer. So that we are 100% on board with. The problem is they are selling this idea. And there's a hidden plan behind it.
I think so. I think that's the problem because, and it is like we've said a couple of times on this show, not this show but this week. It's the Hegelian dialectic again. We've had the problem, which has been widespread misuse of social media and chronic interfering of like an entire generation of children. The reaction to that is we have a broken social scene. Mm-hmm. Shout out to bands. If you know, Ben knows. Ben got that. No, I know you don't. And like if you then look at like where we are just with fucking families have fallen apart, and like parents are just as bad as this as well. But but in a way that they're victims too. Like the parents that are throwing their kids in a corner of a room with an iPad or a Kindle Fire tablet.
Mate, I've done that. I've like go on the Switch, shut the fuck up. You know.
Do you know what I think?
I've got two kids, and sometimes you just want to rest. and it's a fucking easy way to do it.
Yeah.
People, you know,
I won't lie, Ollie. I won't lie. I've never done that.
Well, you're super dad.
No, I'm not saying I'm super dad. I'm just saying I've never given like my phone or like console or something just to go away for a bit.
No, I don't. No, it's not that. But you know, if you say, right, for example, I wanted to paint a fence. Dad. Why you play some Minecraft together?
I'd make him help me paint the fence.
Hey?
I'd make me help him paint the fence. I'd make him help me paint the fence.
No, they'll fuck that fence up. No way.
It's fence.
I've tried this before, Lee. Went wrong. It wasn't a fence. It was the walls. Strokes are all the wrong way. You know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Use roller as well. But anyway, we're off topic here. It's not dad top trumps. But
no, but all I'm saying, I am on the side. I sometimes get that a parent just don't do it all the fucking time. If you go into a restaurant, you know, try and get the kids to fucking, or if you're at the dinner table, get them to fucking not have any sort of technology at the dinner table. Have a conversation.
We won't take. Yeah, we won't
if you
take.
go in
We
to
won't
see
take
your
technology
grandma
out
and
of the house.
granddad, no,
Yeah.
you come and sit at the dinner table. You speak to your grandma and granddad.
Yeah, like
you know,
so my son's not allowed to take the Switch outside.
Well, no,
like,
it rains.
Well, no, but like in the car or anything like that. If you like, if we go in the car, I want him to be alert. I want him to be looking around.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything that you drive to is like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
Try a 4-hour drive.
We still go out all day. Yeah.
Yeah. I won't get it when you fucking take it. I don't get it when you see kids walking around with a mobile phone in their hand, just walking. You know.
Yeah,
not
it's
looking.
crazy.
Yeah, but you know, everybody wants to. That's the thing. People parent how they want to parent. The government is telling you how to parent, and that is the key thing here. They're telling you how to do it.
And then the problem is there is. At what point is it a government's duty to step in? I know this is going to make people angry, and I apologize. And it's like it's not. I don't necessarily even believe like what I'm saying here, but it's something you've got to take in if you're looking at the subject more broadly. People turn around and say the government shouldn't be looking after your kids, but in the same breath, those same people will say parents aren't looking after their kids properly. They're not raising their kids properly. So if that's happened, and that's how, like, I think technology is the base of this, but it's because we look at like technology is only influencing like teenagers now and like children now, but it's not the case. There was a whole like middle generation before us of like people that are in their late 20s and 30s now, which have also grown up with technology, which were like they were young themselves when smartphones really started swinging hammer. So those people which have now had children, they're still closer to their child's like technological sphere, because like although they're closer to us in age, they still don't remember a time before the internet, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're the only generation which has this. Like
we're the only generation left that remembers a time
before the wheel, and well, our parents as well, obviously, but like before the wheel and after the wheel. But the reason we're different to our parents is because that not only do we remember the time before, like widespread technology use, like we have it now, like as far as like instant communication and the internet. Not only do we remember the time before it, because of the period of time it came out, we became adept at using it as well. So it's like we can fucking use technology like Gen Z, but we remember the time before technology, like the boomers.
Also, kids find a way. I found a way.
Like fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I found a way. You know, I can't remember that. Mum and Dad put a password on the computer. They just bought a coloured printer.
Oh, yeah. Kids will always know more than their parents about this shit.
That coloured printer over the weekend had been fucking drained of ink because I'd made my own porno magazine. I'm not even lying there. That is true.
But but just to get back to the point I was going to say. So if I believe, and again, the problem is we don't trust our government or institutions to have totally our right, our best interests at heart. But also, if you see technology as I see it, and I believe if we carry on going the way we're going, you're heading towards societal collapse because of technology, because of because people will become so separate, because people will have minds and fucking dopamine receptors have been just battered by instant gratification of. And the thing is though, this isn't necessarily even the government's fault, which have caused this. This is big tech. Mm-hmm. This is big tech. Like they gamified what should have been a source of communication, like Facebook and X and stuff like that. They stuck likes in. They didn't stick likes in to make so everybody knew that your post was a good post. They stuck likes in to gamify communication. Mm. To give you those dopamine. Everyone loves putting a fucking killer tweet out and getting a load of likes on it. Everyone does. So but at what point, right, if big tech, which is kind of the root of all this when you think about it, if big tech have caused these problems, and we are looking at some sort of I've spoke before with Nick about the mouse utopia thing, which we still I should have thought about it actually. I'm desperate to do more of a show on that, and tonight would have been a good move for it. But if you've got people predicting societal collapse because of technology, because we are living in such an artificial state, at what point is it irresponsible for the government not to step in?
But that's not the reason why they're stepping in, Lee.
Doesn't matter.
I see you playing devil's avocado, but this, we know what's going on.
But what if it's not?
It fucking is. That's what they're doing.
But what if it's not?
If it's not,
right? What if?
You'd have.
What
to
if
see.
the ranting? Hang on. What if the ranting and the conspiracy theory thing? I wrestle with this all the time at the minute, Ollie. What if the ranting and the conspiracy theory and the growth of conspiracy theory and the fact that everybody's talking about this sort of stuff, what if that is just like wearing a mask in the car alone, just like stay home, stay safe, and going outside and banging your pants for the NHS?
Uh-huh.
What if this is a form of mass movement psychosis as well?
I don't know, man.
What if the paranoia is a result of the harms that have been done by technology already?
I mean, you could be right there, but here's the thing. This is how it's going to play out. It'll start with this, and then they'll get the AI involved, and then that'll be checking up on you. That'll be reporting back to some sort of headquarters.
Well, I've read fucking.
Then
Huxley.
the fines will start.
Oh well.
Then the jail sentence will start, and this is how it'll. And then people, you've been fined so by John Spartan, whatever. That is what's gonna fucking happen here. Mark my words. Mm-hmm. They have planned this. It wouldn't surprise me if the whole woke thing was all planned because people got so sick and tired of the woke thing. Well, you know what? Woke's gonna fucking disappear.
Problem
because
solution.
We're gonna fix it.
No, we'll do. I mean,
yeah, it has to us. Yeah, I agree. It's woke off.
It's used. It's fulfilled its usefulness. Or see the more terrifying thing is. is what if there's no plan? And it's but what you have is you have a series of events that happen, and then instead of the governments of the world, so let's again, because I hate bringing COVID up, let's use that as an example. So what if there was no plan for COVID? There was no plan for even the rollout of the vaccine was just all profit driven, that type of thing. So there was COVID was like an accidental thing that happened. Let's just put it that way. Let's say it was a virus. Yeah, I think everybody knows.
Yeah. Okay, I
like,
get what you're saying. A guy went on a Chinese market. He ate a bat soup.
We don't even have to go down the stupid like bat thing. We'll say it was a lab leak. Do you know what I mean? But like an accidental lab leak. Somebody fucking scratched their bumhole with the wrong finger. And,
I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's had stingy ring when they've been chopping chilies. Everyone.
Yeah.
And so what happens then is you get governments of the world that kind of get together with amongst themselves. Well, there's obviously phone calls between them, and they're all going, right, how do we deal with this as on an ultranational basis? They have this loose plan, but then in the back pocket you've got people going, how do we use this to our advantage? Right? How do we use this particular event? Don't get me wrong, it can backfire, but the conversations would be, how do we use this particular event to guarantee our election in the next elections? And I think there's as far as this being like, don't get me wrong, I fall more under the camp of that there is a supranational organization that exists above government that has infiltrated all of the governments, and they pull and push things like to shape the world in their own image.
As you would say, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I kind of lean with these sort of things. But I do like to try and like think against myself to check myself. But you just get this series. The world is a set of a series of unfortunate events in which governments, instead of trying to govern the country and get their people through things the best, they are trying to use those situations to enrich and better things for themselves. And you could 100% say here that there's people saying, look, we need to get a fucking handle on this mobile phone shit because we're blaming it on the kids. Oh, sorry. Everyone's saying we need to watch for the kids, but realistically, it's because there's a dead generation before them, because that generation of the 28s to like 32s, they're already fucked. They're barbecued. They're dead. We need to get this under control now for the next generation.
Some young 22 years old, and it's not. I wouldn't say I've seen a few like that, but. There's a lot that I've seen just perfectly fucking normal.
Yeah, I know. There's a load of normal kids as well. I know. To be perfectly honest, it's kids that are active. Like most of the kids that train with my son are really good kids. There was a load of us, and like the kids and parents went away to something not so long ago, and I was stood talking to. A friend of mine's son, a friend of mine's son's 12, and like I was chatting away to him as like the young man he's becoming. Do you know what I mean? Like and it's he wasn't doing TikToks every 10 minutes. Yeah, he wasn't on his phone every 40 seconds. He was a perfectly well-adjusted young man, and there are plenty of well-adjusted young people out there. It's just you never hear about them because. They don't. It's difficult to create a headline saying completely normal guy has good relationship with mum and dad. That's a terrible news headline.
Yeah. See, I can see again. I'm going to go back to this. I can see how this is going I can see a lot of people buying into this. But I also, at the same time, I can't press emphasis enough. They are doing this because they know that there is a generation that they cannot control, and they need to plan ahead for the future.
Do you know what, Ollie?
They need to control the generation. Once we're gone, are we too old and just too fucking grumpy and grumbling and can't do fuck all with the canes? You know, they're controlling the future generation here. They're looking. They're looking ahead.
But do you not think the same thing was said about us?
No, because they couldn't control us like that. They couldn't do that.
No, but do you not think that? Just don't forget, when we were kids, it was video games at MTV. They were polluting the minds of young people. It's like the MTV was hypersexualized. Like video games were causing kids to go and shoot their schools up, all that sort of stuff. Before us, it was rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like Buddy Holly is casting spells on you fucking kids because of his music. Elvis is turning your sons gay because he's gyrating his hips in front of them. This is not new.
No, but what is new is this is going to be a social score, a social credit score eventually.
Maybe.
Do you
know what, mate? I hope so. Not that I hope for the social credit score. I hope you're right that that's what the plan is. Because if you're wrong, and instead of it being like this Illuminati plan to take over the world, that means that collectively, most people in the world that are elite, that are switched on and listening to content and like switched on with like the zeitgeist of the times, we've lost our fucking minds, Ollie. If you're wrong, we're crazy. And what's going on is you've got governments they're in office now go, fucking hell, all we're trying to do is stop kids watch porn. What is the fucking problem here?
I hope I am wrong. I don't think I am.
No, I hope you're not wrong because like I say, because if that's the case, that means
sorry, yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah. If you're not right, that means
we're all fucking
we're
nuts.
all crazy. Yeah, we're all mad here, Alice. It's a wild, like I said, I don't necessarily think that's the way it's going, but I do think it's a healthy way to look at these things now. It's how I'm trying to approach. Some people would call it being a bit of a centrist dad, but there you go. But I think it's a good way to look at it because it's.
I mean, I know you'll be the first to say, "Holy shit, how fucking
wrong
am I?"
Absolutely. Well, no, because I'm not saying mate. I am like 70% in that this is the first steps towards a social credit social credit system. Like, I think that I think it will be.
See, I'm
like
99%. There's that 1% that says we're all mad.
But someone needs to work out the reason that confuses me here is there's so many things that seem to be playing out at once. So you've got, and the crazy thing is, it's people like us talking about these things, and
not for long, Lee, though. Not for long. If this goes through, not for long.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how far that's because realistically, you're right. But censorship doesn't seem as bad now as it was during COVID, for instance. Still, you've had a big long lead.
They're giving us that honeymoon period.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, we put explicit on all our episodes anyway. Like, kids shouldn't be listening to our content. Every YouTube video we put up, we put not for kids in.
I mean, we talk about fucking dolphins.
Yeah. So this is not a show for children. Definitely not.
Absolutely not.
But I like I say, I think there probably is some sort of grander scheme at large. But then you have the same podcasts, us included. Unless we have conversations like this on podcasts where we go, what if it's all bullshit? But most podcasts won't do that because they're too scared of losing listeners. But I'd rather be honest with our listeners and actually try and think about what's going on than just pander to the lowest common denominator. Knowing if you in all scenarios,
everything you get on this podcast between me and Lee is just all off the cuff, natural, just garbage coming out of our fucking mouths.
If we went full Trump, we were very supportive of Trump during the election, but if we'd stayed that and we'd hammered it home now, even in the face of some pretty fucking questionable things, we'd have gained listeners.
Yeah.
Trump
still says things that I like. He said the London mayor's a complete wanker. I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. But if we went full Palestine, we would gain listeners. If we went full fucking Israel, we would gain listeners. It's that's the easy way to do it. The easy way to game it is to go for the extremists because they'll jump on your podcast. But it's not really how I want to fucking do business. No.
Let me say this to you though. I know
Go on.
I see what you're saying there. Where what if we've all gone fucking mad? What if this is needed? But what the Quartering has just put out there, I could get that if it is one fucking country that is just testing the ground, see how this is going to work for their country.
But make no mistake, though.
It's all the Western countries.
But make no mistake, though, when it comes to even people like the Quartering, I do like his stuff. He has made his money by going all in on one side.
But I actually think that's how he is. He is one. That's the way he's. I think
his way of thinking. I very much think he is one of the people that panders towards his base.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's why we'll never be as successful as the Quartering because we're not prepared to. I don't think there's any.
We flip flop.
Yeah. But everybody should flip flop. Everyone should be able to change their mind when faced with new information.
Yeah, if you're wrong, you're wrong.
Yeah. And like I say, I hope there's a happy medium I haven't seen here. But what I was going to try and get at, was as far as the conspiracy theory podcasts. So you'll get one podcast like we've done this week essentially, but again. I think we're allowed to do this because we're never 100% in with anything. Even though I say 100% a lot.
You do say it a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
How many times do you say 100% in 1 week, do you reckon? I mean, I'm not even just on the podcast, just in day-to-day life.
I don't know, but it's 200% up on last week.
Right, okay. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll get podcasts out there that I listen to that are 100% convinced that Yellowstone's going to erupt and the government know about it. And then the next day, they're 100% convinced that there's an alien invasion coming in and the government know about it. And they're then, the day after that, 100% convinced that there's a global credit score coming and the government know about it. And then they're 100% convinced that there's a pole shift going to happen, everywhere's going to be flooded and the government know about it. None of
2012, we were all going to die.
But mate,
if one knew about it,
if one of these things was right, nothing else fucking matters. There's no way that you would try and implement a global control system if the poles were going to shift next year.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the point in that? If you knew the aliens were coming back,
if you knew 2027 was going to be
where they were going to harvest them, why bother with your social credit score? None of it, the grand.
Unless you don't want us to talk about it, and we need to stop talking about the fucking aliens.
Fucking 18 months away.
What were you saying last night? Mate, what if they bring it forward?
What if they do bring it forward? But do you know what I mean? We're 18 months away from like 2027. So it's I
what if
feel
2027 is the year where the social credit score comes in? What if that's the big thing that's on its way?
Oh yeah, it could be. But what I'm trying, but that's kind of by the by. The fact is we've got all these wild ass fucking ideas that are definitely going to happen within the next fucking 2 years. All of them can't be fucking real, because at least a handful of them cancel each other out.
Okay, I know I said it earlier, joking about the Demolition Man thing, but what % of Lee do you think that we may be living in Demolition Man before your years are out?
I think we've kind of done it, to be honest. I think we've done Demolition Man, because the woke was Demolition Man. Woke was people getting cancelled for saying things.
Whoever thought of doing Demolition Man? That story was
It's a great film. It's a really good film.
Genius.
One of Sylvester Stallone's best and one of my favorite sci-fi films of all time.
Yeah, it's bloody brilliant. If you've not seen it, people, go watch it.
Yeah.
And let Sylvester Stallone know that we sent you there.
Have you seen Idiocracy?
I feel like I should have done, but no.
Right, Idiocracy is a comedy film. It's got that black dude in it that's jacked. What's his name? He wasn't well for a while, came back. Bald, action star, does a lot of comedy.
Black man, bald, action star, black.
Jacked.
Wasn't well for a while.
Did
How
he
jacked
try?
is he?
What?
How jacked is he?
Like jacked.
Has he done some adverts?
Yes.
I know what you mean. He's got
He did the ad.
He always pulls that face.
Yes, he always pulls that face. I forgot what his name is. He's in it. There's a few other people that you'd recognise that's in it as well. And it's essentially the plot of Futurama. Like, someone falls into a capsule, gets frozen, wakes up in the future. And the thing is, like, he was a moron in our time, but because people fell into technology, they stopped using their brains for things because they didn't have to. He comes out, but he is like the smartest person on the fucking planet now, because an idiot in our times is a genius in theirs.
Right.
But because they've relied on technology so much, like the place is just like full of litter because nobody wants to do anything. Everyone just sits at home watching reality TV shows. They can't really make food properly because they've forgotten how to grow food. And like the guy goes to try and work out. He said, I don't understand why you can't grow food, like real food, not like the slop that they're eating. And they said, well, the crops just won't grow anymore. It's because they're using like 7-Up to try and water the crops with. It's like, well, we drink it. Why won't the plants drink it? That's the closest I think we're going to live in. And again, for that reason, that's why I look at the like the Online Safety Act and the idea that a government could be on the verge of go, right, we need to fucking step in here, otherwise like the fucking wheels are falling off this shit.
I'm just going to put this out there. If this podcast tomorrow does extremely fucking well because of what Lee is saying tonight, Lee's been paid, people.
Hashtag queer for Kia. But
yeah, you get on that fucking train with him.
Fucking yeah, I get on it with Starmer. I reckon I have a couple of. I could sit down with him like about 4 hours in, and we could probably have a good chat.
I'd like to cuppy egg him, fart in my hand
What,
and
like-
just rub it
oh.
in his face.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, all I'm saying is that I think we can go overboard. I do you know what? To be perfectly honest, I'd love to know. Like the biggest problem in the UK right now is, be it high. No, because the problem started before Starmer. Like I would say, mass migration is the problem.
Yeah,
so you can argue that started with Tony Blair probably, but the
Starmer's granddad.
And then it wasn't stopped through 14 years of supposed conservative leadership, didn't stop it. So I'm as much as I don't like Labour and I don't like Keir Starmer, I'm also not willing to accept that everything's gone wrong in the short time he's been Prime Minister. It's like the wheels were off the wagon before.
Oh mate, I'm pretty. I'm not 100%, but even with the backlash that's happened with Reform recently, I still think Reform will get in because Nigel has made such he's made his presence well known to everybody, and I think that's what people will naturally go to what they know, and I think he'll get in. Do I think he'll change anything? I hope so.
Well, you've got to hope. You've got to hope for the best for the world.
Absolutely, I hope to God he does.
I want Starmer to do well. I want Starmer to
absolutely.
Prove wrong.
I'd fucking love Starmer to fucking make a U-turn from being the fucking complete and utter pussy that he is, and his wife to actually love him again. And maybe he's such a fucking bell end. Sorry,
but they're all bell ends, though. That's the thing. He's no more.
He's
no more or less of a bell end than the rest. He is.
I watched the entire thing of him in Scotland with Donald Trump, and he sat there like a fucking cum rag, and I'd loved it if he just fucking argued back, even if I disagreed with what he was saying, but he just fucking bent over and took it.
So you're angry with him. So you're angry with Keir Starmer for not arguing with the US president, which you like.
No. I'm angry with him for being just a complete.
What would you have liked him to do?
He doesn't believe in anything. I don't think he just does his job. Whatever he's doing, and it ain't for us. He's doing it for them fucking wankers.
No, so he does believe in something then.
Yeah, he definitely believes in something. He believes where his fucking paychecks are coming from. But he's poison. He's fucking poison.
Yeah, he's a politician.
He's something, all right.
I mean, like I am half winding you up and playing like devil's advocate again, but like, where is we can't you can't blame him for 14 years of.
Can't blame him for 14 years, but I can blame him for this year and the beginning of last year. I can blame him for covering up the mass murder of those 3 little girls.
Yes. No, look, I'm not saying anything's fucking perfect here. But I'm just saying I don't. Maybe I'm just so numb to it. I expect no more or less anymore. I don't think there's. There's probably a few good people in government in the UK, like MPs.
I hope so.
I don't think there's many.
I think Rupert Lowe is definitely a good one.
I hope so. Like I like, yeah. I mean, see
he had Tommy Robinson's back. which is more I could say for Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
Nigel Farage fucking lied about him saying he was
which
a
is wild.
A woman beater.
Wild, yeah. Look, I've flopped quite a lot on Farage. Like I see him much more.
I
as
fucking loved him. I thought this is the man.
Yeah, but there is an element of you that's searching for a hero, isn't there?
Yeah, of course there is.
Yeah,
we need a fucking hero in this country. We need somebody.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to come within the system.
And this is why I fucking loved Trump so much to start off with, because I'm like, that man is doing, like, he's doing what he promised when he first went in, and he fucking did what he did. I mean, I'm hearing now that sometimes he's fucking just deporting people who are just fucking generally been working all their lives in fucking Best Buy or whatever. Like...
Mm-hmm.
I think there needs to be a fucking happy medium. Deport the criminals, do all that. I'm not American, so I can't comment on their political on what's going on in that country. But this one thing I respect with Trump is he fucking talks, and that man, he won't be fucked with. What I question is the whole. I mean, it's a completely other show, this, but when he said, in so many words, the Epstein thing is getting a bit boring now. I don't understand why people, are making such a fuss over it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Should be a huge red flag. There's talks now already.
It is a red flag.
There's talks already that there is even after the sex trafficking allegations against P. Diddy have been dropped. There's reports I've been reading today that inside the White House there have been discussions on whether Trump will give P. Diddy a full pardon.
And Ghislaine.
And Ghislaine, yeah.
I mean,
if that happens, all bets are off, man. Like that's
yeah, absolutely.
So somebody needs to work out what the fuck's going on, because either the whole Epstein Island thing was bullshit and it was a plan and it was just a ruse. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or we are seeing the biggest dam break and cover up a job in the history of the world. Like it's fucking insane that what's gone on there. But there is something interesting though. I know we've kind of gone.
We haven't, mate. We absolutely haven't, because I'll tell you why. And I wanted to say this earlier, and I know I'll get back to what you're going to say, but I have to say this. You've just reminded me of what I wanted to say earlier. Can you imagine the future generation? The future generation, let's say in fucking 15 years' time, we're still wanting the Epstein files as old men. Those kids. Who's Epstein?
I'd give them... I mean, it depends how sanitized the internet gets, because that's like turning around and say, like, the conspiracy theories always live on.
Mm.
Kids will find conspiracy theories.
They do now. They do for now, yeah.
No, there'll be. This is the thing. There will be ways and means around these things. Do you know what I do worry about sometimes is that online, surface web speech, will become so suppressed. To find shows like this and to do shows like this, it will become kind of like pirate radio again, where we'll be you and me will be recording, and then we'll just be releasing episodes on the dark web, on whatever fucking. There'll be a dark web version of fucking Spotify. What worries me about that is if you sanitize the surface web to the point where it's fucking unusable, and it's like you might as well be putting Sky News on as open a web browser.
You mean trying to upload to YouTube 15 years ago?
Yeah. But does that not make you think that it's going to push grown-ups, kids, adolescents, anyone that craves some authenticity it's going to push them towards downloading some sort of secure browser to get on the dark web. And that's fine to an extent, because if someone gives them the URL for, or not URL, whatever the website thing you use for dark web stuff.
I've never been on the dark web.
You can give somebody the link to go to like fucking Spotify, dark Spotify. But then you've also got all the other stuff that's hanging around there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
You would push people towards worse stuff than we're censoring on the surface web.
There was a trend going around for a bit, wasn't there, with YouTubers going to the dark web and ordering packages.
Yeah, but that was mostly bollocks.
Ah.
Yeah, it was mostly bollocks. I
bought right into that.
Yeah. There used to be a good one. Like, he was like an online PDF file hunter, and what was it? His channel was called Surviving Life. I think it was called. Right. He was Scottish. I think there was some sort of controversy with him in the end. I'm not sure what quite happened with him, but like he would essentially just he had a deal with his
hunter.
Not necessarily just that. It was more of like a raising awareness of what was there. So he'd never show people like the addresses to where he was or where he could find stuff. The local police where he lived in Scotland knew what he did, and then he would do like a month's worth of exploring the dark web, and then go to them and go like, "That's what I found." And he'd put a thing where he couldn't see the photographs that would come up and stuff like that. And he'd be more going off descriptions and text than looking at images. But yeah, like I used to watch his channel quite a lot, and the idea that just because people can't find shows like this would push people towards a place where they could find stuff like that, that's pretty fucking worrying to me. It's pretty worrying.
Yeah. Well, people, how many more days have they got till the awards, podcast awards?
Oh, well, we don't tell people like that, because that makes them complacent. Go and do it now.
Okay.
If you say it's like too soon, people feel like people think, oh well, there's no point in me doing it now. It's too late. And if you tell them there's loads of time, they go, I'll do it tomorrow. We don't need that. We need you to do it today.
What do you need him to do today?
A vote today for the Daily Conspiracy Podcast in the British Podcast Awards listener category is one of those things. We've said it before. Certain things will make your boobs firmer. Certain things will make your dick harder. Voting for us in the British Podcast Awards is one of those things. So there's a link in the description. Go to the British Podcast Awards, click the button at the top left of the screen which said listener vote, type in the Daily Conspiracy Podcast, and put a vote down for our podcast. We would be very fucking grateful to you. Make sure you reply to the email they will send you, because you need to reply to that or your vote is not counted. Again, we are in a weird little position here where I believe we have the numbers. We have the people to make
we
this
have the
happen.
people. Look at you with 5-star reviews.
Yeah, we know we are. You don't need a whole load of you don't need a whole load of things to do a thing, but you need the things you've got in like attack formation.
So
that's why we're trying to weaponize our retards. You know.
You are our retards.
Fucking very special. That's why you're retarded. It's because you're special to us. So yeah, please go and do that. Do all the other stuff as well. Leave us a 5-star review. We must be getting close to the 1,500 reviews. So every review we get matters hugely. We know there's a load more of you as well. I see the numbers are fucking going up on Spotify. We get so many new followers on Spotify every month.
Yeah, if you are watching this on YouTube and you didn't know we were anywhere else, we've only just come to YouTube. YouTube does not like us.
No, YouTube is we are getting like precisely 0 traction on YouTube. It is fucking well. I trust me. If you're listening to this, like if there is some sort of video or something that you wish you'd seen, then pop over to YouTube like a day or two later, and the video will be up. But as a way of consuming this podcast, you've already won. If you're listening to us on Spotify, you have the best way to get in touch with us via the comments, and you have what I think is probably the best way to listen to this podcast is on Spotify. But yeah, the YouTube haven't given us a strike or anything like that, but it is approaching it is approaching the window of not being fucking worth doing.
We'll probably keep. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we're definitely going to keep that open for the patrons, because they get the link almost a day earlier. And we put the video out there. Like, if anybody wants to clip anything, they can clip anything they want to clip. But we don't want to lose. We don't want to be on YouTube. To cut a long story short, we're highly censored there. It makes no sense with the numbers that we have on Spotify.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
0.
Also considering, like, on Spotify, again, not to get too fucking inside baseball. So we have a 72% conversion rate. So if Spotify shows our podcast to 100 people, 72 of those people listen to the entire episode. Our conversion rate's massive. So the fact that there is, it's like we're getting like 30 views on a video, 40 views on a video, and we're in the tens of thousands of downloads audio. I just don't. Spotify doesn't want to fuck with us. I wouldn't mind. We put a video up every day. We put a podcast up every day. The algorithm and the way Spotify work should fucking adore us for that. Should adore us. I don't think we should be getting thousands.
No, Spotify does adore us.
Sorry, not Spotify. YouTube should adore us. But it definitely does not. But you know what I think? Just to go into something different here. This is kind of in line with what we're talking about as far as creepy tech goes. I found something out today, Ollie, and it fucking blew my mind. So, you know how you can sign into different accounts on YouTube?
I thought you were going to show me something on the Lucasade bottle.
No. You know you can sign into different accounts on YouTube? Yeah?
Yeah.
So, like, my account, I am connected to my personal YouTube account. That is, and I can swap between that. I can swap between Alien Addict, and I can swap between
the Daily Conspiracy Podcast.
The Daily Conspiracy Podcast. So, I thought Alien Addicts was YouTube Premium. Yeah, which I don't think it is it?
I think it is.
Because I wanted to listen to a podcast today on YouTube. Don't worry, there is going to be a point to this. We're not just having the chat we'd normally have off the podcast on the podcast. I wanted to listen to Heretics with Bonnie Blue this afternoon.
Yeah.
But the YouTube video went out before the audio. So I thought, right, I have to listen to it on YouTube. So I tried to listen to it on the Alien Addict YouTube account, thinking I could just click the phone off. I could just black screen the phone so it would keep playing. It didn't, but that doesn't matter. That's not what the story is. So I listened to half that show at work on the Alien Addict account. I then go home, which is my personal YouTube account on my Apple TV. I went home and clicked that. And I looked at my phone to go, I'm at 41 minutes on that, so I could fast forward. On my YouTube account, I haven't started watching the video on. It played it at 41 minutes on my personal YouTube account, even though I'd only watched it on the Alien Addict account. So all your YouTube accounts, even though they're supposed to be separate, they still talk to each other. So the fact that our YouTube channel is being suppressed is probably because I'm connected to Must See Audio, which had community guideline strikes, and we're both connected to Alien Addict, which was also shadow banned.
Interesting. I don't know what to do with that information, though, Lee.
There's nothing you can do, but it's interesting, isn't it? The fact that I got home, opened my private YouTube account up, and it continued to play a video that I'd been watching on the podcast YouTube account at the same place.
Weird. That's weird.
Yeah. So, there you go, people.
Oh, also, we see you, Apple people. We haven't forgotten about you, but give us some 5-star reviews, people. Come on.
Yeah.
You Apple
please.
goers.
Yeah, it's all good. It helps
Spotify
us.
Kicking ass, getting us to 2,000 5-star reviews. Motherfuckers.
Yeah. Anyway, right, let's disappear, Ollie. These guys have been great. Thanks for listening to all this week, guys. It's been a really good week for us. Last week was enjoyable. It's been good to have Ollie back again, kicking things properly. We're going to start getting some more guests back on the show as of next week. I'm going to try and start lining stuff up this weekend. No doubt we'll have more fucking wild shit coming your way very shortly. Ollie.
Yes, my lad.
Take us out.
Well, I was thinking, if we do make this, and we can give up the day jobs, we should do a side hustle, because I like watching them PDF hunters sometimes, and I think, maybe I could do a better job with that. But if we did it together, I've got the name. Nonsbusters. It's great, isn't it?
I thought it was going to be some sort of cool play on words with the Daily Conspiracy Podcast.
No, Nonsbusters. Saying that's not going to work for the American audience. I don't know if they know what a nonce is.
No, they definitely don't. No,
it's a great word. Call people a nonce at work. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Ollie. This wasn't your finest.
I didn't. I did. Yeah, I'm lost for words.
Yeah, it's like you usually.
I thought that was great. I'm proud of it. I've made a note of it.
This is how we're ending the week, Ollie. Fucking nonce.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military establishment. And they are not what they claimed to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One diaphragm for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.